Hey everybody, what's up? It's Broman. What's up? Hey. So I'm a little late to the jump on this video, but I don't care. You're gonna learn. On the 16th of this month, is April 16th, Randy Pitchford was asked about Slag returning. And if you don't remember Slag, Slag is the element in Borderlands 2 that became the de facto functional way to do any amount of damage with any character anywhere in Borderlands 2 after you got past a certain point. And I know what you're thinking, bro, man, you're not playing Borderlands 2, this is the pre-sequel, and there's a reason for that. Randy went on to say that there's a new element with a radiation style effect that makes a little bit more sense. So the drawbacks of Slag primarily are the biggest drawback was that it just didn't do any damage. It was cool that it debuffed, but being forced to carry, you know, a Slag something on you all the time sort of inhibited the I want to pick this thing up and then go shoot stuff with it experience that makes Borderlands so much fun. Especially when you get to UVHM or when you get to OP levels, it starts to really lose balance. To the point where, like, if you weren't playing Gunzerker, you kind of felt like you were cheaped out of, you know, having a good time. Now, I know plenty of people found plenty of builds where, you know, Slag was part of it, and that's great. But I think the fundamental problem with Slag in Borderlands 2 was that it was a forced decision. And in a game that's all about, you know, for the most part, playing free and playing whatever kind of character and class you could possibly imagine and having a good time with whatever gear you find on the ground, picking up a gun and then shooting something else with it until it dies, it kind of felt a little bit out of place. So we don't know much more about this element, this radioactive whatever element that was hinted at, other than the fact that it makes a little bit more sense in the universe. And I, for one, am really excited about that. And the reason we're playing the pre-sequel is because well, there was the introduction of a new element, and Slag's not in this one, called Cryo. And that's also why we're playing our fantastic Baroness lady, who I'd never played before, and is f***ing incredible. So, yeah, Cryo in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, sort of took the place of Slag as the alternate element. Now, Cryo isn't necessarily the weapon that does the most damage, but it feels like it has a place because it has other effects like slowing enemies or rooting them in place so you can do more damage to them. I am hoping, since especially we've seen like, oh, it looks like Cryo's probably back because there's the one guy in the thing and he's like doing this and he looks like he's all covered in ice. That we're also going to have this radioactive element that's going to serve a similar purpose of debuffing. Now, one of the cool things about Cryo is, you know, Aurelia was built around Cryo. You know, you get to freeze enemies, you build up stacks of avalanche, your Cryo does more damage. But even for characters that aren't built around Cryo, or maybe other elements, Cryo served a purpose of, you know, sticking somebody in place. So it has, you know, it has functionality, even if it's not going to end up being your largest damage type. I'm personally hoping that going forward into Borderlands 3, we get to have the experience of the Borderlands 1 universe where every weapon on the ground that you pick up is going to do a decent job killing whatever you're fighting in general. Now, there's always going to be bests, and I think that that's good and that's necessary. You need chase weapons in order to keep people engaged. But the forced choice of Slag sort of slowed things down in Borderlands 2 and really made the ultimate endgame, the OP stuff, Digistruct Peak, really unfriendly to players that are new or like maybe less focused on builds. They're like, oh, I played the game one way for so long and now I'm confused. Why do I have to play it another way? So overall, I'm really excited. I'm very excited that Slag's out. It was kind of like my least favorite element, the fact that you always had to have a grog nozzle so you could heal and do damage and blah, 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 blah. It was just exhausting. So I'm hoping that, much like Cryo in the pre-sequel, we get this new element type that's really fun and engaging and sort of makes more sense in the universe. It's wild, it's wacky, you know, it's over the top a little bit more than just, hey, look, that guy's covered in purple puke. You know, that way you can have fun with your friends. You know, maybe Maybe this radiation element makes people decay. Maybe it makes them more vulnerable to damage. Like, we don't really know much about it yet. We'll learn more on May 1st at the reveal event, which I will be at, and I'm very excited, and we'll have more video, which is exciting, and I can't wait, and I'm excited. I don't know if I said I'm excited enough. Did I say that? Yes. So personally, I'm looking forward to the change. I'm ecstatic that Slag's not in Borderlands 3. Honestly, I try to keep I try to keep a really measured tone on things, but I really felt like Slag it was the experiment that didn't work, which makes sense. You know, you want to try, you want to swing for the fences and change things fundamentally. In games, that's how you move forward. You know, that's how you change the art that you're creating. You have to try new things, but it sort of didn't work out. So I'm excited that it isn't, you know, coming back and that we're getting something else in its place. So that is the news that I wanted to share with you. Those are my thoughts on Slag not being in Borderlands 3. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. You can leave them below. You can tweet them at me. I'm at ProfessorBroman on Twitter. I'm at ProfessorBroman on Instagram. I'm at ProfessorBroman on Twitch. You can hang out with me anytime you want. And as always, the only thing that I ever ask you to do is share this video with somebody that you like. And if you don't want to rate, comment, or subscribe, you know what? You're a cool dude. I dig it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for spending any amount of your time with me, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.